A spoiled rich teen thought she could humiliate a hard-working waitress in public. But what she didn't realize was that 50 Hells Angels bikers were right there, watching everything. What happened next will shock you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Where are you watching from? Let's get started. The neon lights of Molly's diner flickered weakly against the dark sky of a small Arizona town. The clock had just struck midnight when Emily wiped her trembling hands on her apron. She'd been working the late shift again, hoping her abusive husband, Rick, wouldn't find her here tonight. But deep down, she knew trouble always found her no matter how hard she tried to hide. The bell above the door jingled as a massive man in leather walked in. His heavy boots echoed on the tiled floor. He wore a black Hells Angels jacket, his long hair tied back, and his presence filled the room like a thunderstorm. Emily froze for a second, but then forced a smile. "Coffee?" she asked softly. The biker, whose name Patch read Cole, nodded. "Black. Keep the change," he said, sliding a 20 across the counter. His voice was low, steady but kind. Unlike most customers, he didn't stare at her or talk down to her. For the first time that night, Emily felt a strange sense of safety. Just as she turned to pour the coffee, the bell above the door clanged again, louder this time. Emily's blood ran cold. Standing there was Rick, her husband, his face twisted in anger, eyes burning like fire. "There you are, you little liar," he spat, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Think you can hide from me?" The few customers in the diner went silent. Cole looked up slowly, his gaze meeting Rick's. He didn't move, didn't flinch. Emily took a step back, clutching the coffee pot, her voice shaking. "Rick, please. I'm just working. Shut up!" Rick roared, slamming his fist on the counter. Emily stumbled, and the pot shattered, coffee splashing across the floor. Rick grabbed her arm roughly, making her cry out in pain. That's when Cole stood up. The chair scraped loudly as it moved back. He was taller than Rick, broader, and his eyes were cold steel. "You need to let her go," he said in a calm, deep tone that carried more threat than a shout ever could. Rick sneered. "Who the hell are you?" "Stay out of this, biker trash." Cole didn't respond. He just took a slow step forward, his leather jacket creaking. The diner fell into tense silence. Emily tried to pull away, but Rick's grip tightened. Cole's voice turned low, deadly. "You heard me. Let her go." Something in Cole's expression made Rick hesitate. For the first time, he realized this wasn't a man he could intimidate. Reluctantly, he released Emily, shoving her away. She stumbled into Cole's arms, tears streaming down her cheeks. Cole steadied her gently, his voice soft now. "Go behind the counter. You're safe." Rick glared, muttering curses, but Cole's stare didn't waver. The air crackled with tension until Rick finally turned and stormed out, slamming the door behind him. Emily stood frozen, her hands shaking. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice breaking. Cole nodded once. "Don't thank me yet," he said quietly. "If he comes back, he'll have to deal with me and my brothers." Outside, the rumble of distant motorcycles echoed through the desert night. The night air outside Molly's diner was thick with tension. Emily stood by the window, still trembling as she watched her husband's truck speed away, dust swirling behind it. Inside, Cole sat back down calmly, as if nothing had happened, but his eyes stayed on the door, alert, ready. "Thank you," Emily whispered again, her voice small and shaky. "You didn't have to do that." Cole gave her a faint, reassuring smile. "Yeah, I did," he said, sipping his now cold coffee. "No man should ever lay a hand on a woman, especially one who's already broken." His words carried weight, like he'd seen this kind of pain before. Emily's eyes filled with tears. "He's not going to stop, Rick. He'll come back." Cole leaned forward, his tone firm. "Then he won't find you." Before she could ask what he meant, the faint roar of engines echoed in the distance. It grew louder, deep, rhythmic, powerful. Within minutes, the parking lot was filled with the growling sound of motorcycles. Headlights cut through the night as a dozen Hells Angels bikers pulled in, forming a protective circle around the diner. Emily gasped. "Who are they?" Cole smirked. "Family. The leader of the pack, an older man named Bear, stepped inside. His beard was silver, his eyes sharp but kind. "Heard you had some trouble," Bear said, glancing at Emily, then at Cole. "Yeah," Cole replied. "Her husband's been beating on her. She's scared to go home." Bear nodded slowly, then turned to Emily. "You got somewhere safe to go, sweetheart?" She shook her head. "No, I was saving up to leave him. But he controls everything, the house, the money, even my car." Her voice cracked. "I have nothing." Cole looked at Bear. "Then she's coming with us." Emily's eyes widened. "With you?" "Don't worry," Bear said gently. "We ain't saints, but we protect our own. You'll be safe." That night, the bikers helped her pack her things from the small house she once shared with Rick. They moved quickly, watching the road in case he showed up. Emily's hands shook as she placed her only photograph, her late mother, into a box. When Rick's truck suddenly appeared at the end of the street, the rumble of motorcycles filled the air again. Cole rev his bike, blocking the road with his brothers. Rick slammed the brakes, staring at the sea of leather and chrome ahead. He realized instantly he'd lost. Cole stepped forward, pointing at him. "You ever touch her again or even drive past her street, you'll regret it. Understand?" Rick didn't answer. He simply reversed and sped away into the darkness, swallowed by the desert night. The next morning, Emily woke up in a small guest cabin owned by the club. She could hear laughter and the sound of engines outside. For the first time in years, she felt peace. Cole brought her breakfast, coffee, pancakes, and a small leather jacket with the words, "Angel Family," stitched on the back. "You're safe now," he said quietly. Emily smiled through tears. "I believe you." And from that day forward, the girl who once hid in fear found freedom, protected by the same men the world called outlaws.